it's systemic. I think a lot of times people, you're not going to do anything you didn't have to do. Like you didn't realize you needed it until you needed it. Like, people, we have been complacent for far too long. And I think it was by design. I think, our education system is designed to keep people stupid, to keep people poor and dumb, and so that they don't excel and they don't know things. Because if people know and people understand and people start researching and thinking for themselves, then they wake up. And when they wake up, things change. And it's just not, and I mean, we're losing people every day. Like, it's hard, like, it's hard to watch. I am Tanae Parker. I am Tanae. I am Cameron's mom. I am a person that is, I care passionately and deeply about a lot of things and all things. I care about my community. I care about people. I care about things I shouldn't even care about. But I am just somebody that is, community oriented and centered around that. That's how I would describe myself. I have, a very large family. My mom has, it's just myself and my two sisters. And, it's just like, I think any other family, like, it's complicated. We have, but they're mine and I wouldn't trade them. So like, they're mine, but it's complicated. I lived in Hawaii. I was in DC. I've been in, Charlotte. One thing I do know is that when I'm not in Columbia, I'm very disconnected from what goes on here. When I'm actually in the city, I'm very affected by things. Like, and I could be watching the same stories from 1,000 miles away, and I'm just not affected. But when I'm here, it's almost like I have to do something. I have to fix it. I don't feel that energy when I'm not in the city at all, to be honest. But when I'm here, it's home, and you protect your home. So that's just how I see it. And I don't think that Columbia isn't a bad place. I think, there are a lot of good people here. I think activism takes on many forms, and it looks different for me now than it did when I was younger. I think activism to me is something that was kind of ingrained in who I am. It came from my grandmother, and later on in life, I know that it's even deeper than that, where it came from. But, the first time that I can remember, um, would be the King Day at the Dome when I was 16, when we were trying to get the Confederate flag down the first time. That's probably the first movement, or the first, my actual involvement in that way. But, activism has taken on so many fronts in my life, and so manifested in so many ways. From Breonna Taylor to Trayvon Martin to activism isn't, I think a lot of people have an idea that activism is loud, and it's not. There are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, like, so many things that I can make happen, or people, because of relationships and things that happen behind the scenes, that are activism too. Activism just doesn't have one fold, and it doesn't look the same for me now that it did 10, 15, even 5 years ago. I think, activism, there's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot that you sacrifice. There's a lot that you lose, and that people don't see that happens behind the scenes. And, for me at this point, I'm consider myself, in the activism space, more of a thought leader, like, just encouraging thought. And because I think a lot of people, especially in the activism space, don't know what to do right now. I was always doing stuff. Like, I was always doing what I could to help people. And I think because I need to look and see when I established it. Like, because I honestly don't remember. It was after Nita died, and it was kind of on needing purpose. And I was already like a resources. I was always somebody that people were going to help them find resources. And creating a space where people that don't always get help, like what I found is like I try to help people that are afraid to ask, people that traditional places don't feel like are deserving. Because I think the reality is when you talk to people, it's always something. Everybody has a story. And because people are born and come from and are surviving so much chaos and so much confusion, no, everybody's not going to tell you the truth, but that's because they've been living in a world where they've been surviving their whole lives. So I don't get into people's business. Like I do what I'm called to do. And if you're lying or if you're doing something, I don't feel like that happens to me often. But if you do, that's between you and your God. And I just move on. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I just keep it pushing. It's systemic. I think a lot of times people, you're not going to do anything you didn't have to do. Like you didn't realize you needed it until you needed it. Like people, we have been complacent for far too long, and I think it was by design. I think our education system is designed to keep people stupid, to keep people poor and dumb, and so that they don't excel and they don't know things. Because if people know and people understand and people start researching and thinking for themselves, then they wake up. And when they wake up, things change. And it's just not. And I mean, we're losing people every day. Like it's hard. Like it's hard to watch. I mean, Columbia is a place that I mean, it's something that I talk about and been talking about since I was a child. Opportunities and access. I think there are a lot of brilliant people here. There are a lot of talented people here. There are a lot of talented people that come from here. And I think that given the right resources, given the right opportunities, and given access and equity, I think that there's nothing that we couldn't do. Like this could be such a better place to grow, a better place for our children. And I think that's a conversation that I've been having kind of outside with myself. And I was thinking about the concept of leaving the world better for your children. And that's something that I heard my whole life and I never thought about it. And then like now watching what's going on and realizing, oh, that's what they've been doing all along. Like everything that we're seeing happen, Donald Trump just knows that he doesn't have another 20 years on this earth. He doesn't have another 10 years on this earth. They are preparing this world for their children's children. And we didn't do that. So figuring out what that looks like for us. And I don't know, but I do think that with the right investment, with the right people in place, and that goes back to politics, like having people that are really going to lobby and advocate to get the resources to who needs it and how it needs it. And that's just, you know. The decision to run came at the encouragement of a lot of people. I think the issue with the campaign at the time, and I wouldn't even categorize it as a defeat because I didn't try. I think I announced, and I don't know the exact timeline, but I announced that I was running maybe days before or days after a child that was very close to me was killed in a car accident, a bad car accident. So it was like three little boys were killed in an accident, and in that moment I had to center them and I had to center my friends and my family, and it wasn't appropriate to run a campaign at that time. And not only was it not appropriate, I wasn't in the headspace to do it. Like it, it was a very, very hard time for me. And I mean, I don't know. I think it was just a timing thing. I think if I'd actually worked on that campaign, I didn't send out a mailer, I didn't make a phone call, and I think I may have gotten like 30% of the vote, and I didn't do anything. Like, so I know what could have happened if I'd worked it, and I didn't have the energy at the time. Like it was grand opening, grand closing for me because it just didn't feel right. Like it, and it's not something that I regret. Like I think that I made the right decision at that point in my life. Like I wasn't in the headspace for it, and all of the people that I would have needed to support me were grieving. Like we were all grieving, so it wasn't that wasn't something that you just come out of. So it kind of just came and went. I wouldn't say that I would never run for office again. I don't know what that looks like. I think politics is any man's game right now. And for me, um, I learned even in that period of time that I'm way more impactful not in office. The freedom that I have, the liberty that I have, the way that I can move, the way that I can do things, the things that I can say, just, logistically how I can get stuff done. Like I feel like I'm way more impactful in my community not in office than I would be if I was. So that's something that it would have to be the right time and the right move and the right decision, and it would have to be substantive. It'd have to be something that I could see real work and change, and not me just sitting somewhere to say that I have a title. I don't know what my online reputation is. Like I don't, and I think that's the thing. People care more about it and more consumed with it than I am. Like I don't care. I don't. It, I think I feel like I tell people all the time. Like I was going viral on platforms before it was a thing, like Twitter days. I was on Black Planet. I was on AOL. I've been on the internet a long time. So I'm not somebody that is I don't create content. I literally do what I want to do. Like if I feel like a bird today, that's what I want to talk about today. I don't make posts or anything in effort to do those things. So I don't really take into account what other people think when I post. It's about what I think or how I feel in the moment. Like I really don't care if it makes money, if it does something, that's cool, but that's not why I did it. So I don't really care. I think the best way to is to have conversation, like the way that I post, the way that I talk. I understand that my social media is very different. I have all kinds of people on there. Like and the only thing that these people have in common is today. Like I have people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, and I think that so many people, I get a lot of messages or a lot of comments of people who don't know or didn't know things were going on. And a lot of times it's not just about socioeconomics or education and what people don't know. Some people are just blissfully unaware and just kind of in their own world. It's not like the world that we grew up in when something happened and the world stopped. It was on every news channel. So because so many things happen, so many people don't know. And I think that's why it's important to keep people engaged, because sometimes on social media we can get real caught up in what's going on with Nicki and Cardi, and we miss what's going on in the world. We miss what's the things and the issues that affect us and are impacting our daily lives. And I think that while I do engage in social media commentary about pop culture issues, I think it's important too to kind of have a balance and be that balance sometimes, because you don't know who you're helping. Like there are so many people that don't know, and I think by reading and talking to, like, one thing I will say is I have an arsenal of subject matter experts. Like I have, my resource game is insane. Like I have people that are in national news media. There's nobody that if I need information or I need to verify something before I post, because I don't really post unless I know what I'm talking about. I go to the source. Like I get things early and it's accurate. And I think there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, but making sure that when I'm telling people stuff that I'm telling them the truth, and I did my due diligence to do that, because I know people listen to me, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. I read. I think the way I would describe it is like, because sometimes I feel like nobody else, do y'all not see what I'm seeing? And the thing is, like, when I was a kid, I read a newspaper. I would read the paper every day. And when you open the paper, there's the headline, there's the main story. Then you go in and then there's finance, there's politics, there's entertainment, there's the comic books. And I think I take in the news the same way, like so I talk about it in real time as I'm reading it, as I'm researching it, as I'm learning about it. I post about it just like I'm flipping the pages of a paper, like, because even if you're on any news organization site, there one article is going to lead you to the next. So it's just, I read. I'm ADHD, so it's sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't, and then, like it's no. And so what happens often is like my brain is all over the place. So some people may engage, like, I'm never going to respond to something 2 or 3 days later because I don't care anymore. Like, I care in that moment, or that's on my mind in that moment. But 2 hours later, I'm probably not that invested. Like, so I ignore a lot of people, and it's not intentional. It's just that I don't care anymore. I don't have a problem engaging in discourse with anybody that doesn't agree with my views. I find that on my social media platform, particularly, most of the people that I engage with align. And that's why they're there. We come from like similar backgrounds and experiences, and so a lot of times the conversation is centered in agreement, or at least a mutual understanding and respect. I think oftentimes things happen when something may go viral or something, and there are people who don't know me or don't have that frame of reference of who I am or why I think this way, or then that comes in, and I don't have a discourse with anybody as long as it's not rooted in feelings. Like, I don't argue feelings with anybody. I'm a very factual, like, what did you do the work? And if you did the work and you can show me why this, you believe this, then I'm more than willing to engage and hear it. I think that only an idiot won't change their mind if they present it with new information or different information. So I don't have a problem with that at all. But a lot of times people on the internet have like this idea that everybody has the right to an opinion. And that's true and not true. Like, is your opinion detrimental to other people? Is it misinformation? Is it disinformation? Is it causing people harm? And is it something that can be disproven? Like, is this just how I feel because of your very small sample size? Then no, you don't get to spread fake news and false information. I don't care. I don't spend a lot of time or energy, and I don't think about it. Like, social media isn't a thing that consumes me. I think it may feel like that to people, but like, my real life is way more interesting than my social media life. So I don't, and because like I'm not a person, I have been who I am for 42 years now, and people that know me go to war about me. So it's like I don't really feel the need to defend myself on social media against anything or anybody, because I know people support me, and people that know me, like, so, and that's enough for me. Like, the circle that I have, and even the community that I have on social media, my people know me. So like, I don't, like, when one or two outliers comes, it doesn't phase me at all. I mean, it was a public post. I mean, you're in my space, you know what I mean? And to me, like, it kind of highlighted what I was saying about him. I didn't tag you, you know what I mean? And you only care because I had my own following, you know what I mean? Because other people saw it. If I was somebody that didn't have a following, you wouldn't even have commented. You brought attention to it. And if you feel like, and so to me, with influence, there's responsibility. So you can understand why you want to come and defend yourself on my space where I didn't tag you. I don't know, you know what I mean? But you don't understand why harming these businesses is detriment. Like, you shouldn't do that. I didn't put you on a platform where I was monetized. And here's the thing. I can do that. I could have made a TikTok. I could have done all of those things. No, I put you on my personal page. I didn't tag you. I didn't call attention to you. I said I didn't want you there. I explicitly said that. So, it's just, sometimes things for me it's just black and white, right or wrong. And that was just one of those things where I was watching in real time him harming businesses, and you just can't do that. I think that people are intimidated because it's always just the hierarchy of our society. It's going to be, how dare you be smarter than me? How dare you know more than me? I think, and once I realized, like, I spent a lot of time dealing with racism and just biases, institutionalized racism, systemic racism, any type of race, like, I've dealt with it. And I think once I realized the best way, especially with the best way to fight racism is with classism. Like, when you remind people of who they are and that they're not, like, they hate that. You know what I mean? Like, because the worst thing they can have, or the worst thing they can say, is like they feel like they're better than you because they're not black. But once you remind them that they're poor, they're ignorant, they're dumb, that like they're from it kind of takes it there, because how can you be better than me? Like it enrages them and it fuels them, because it infuriates them, because how did we accomplish so much with so less? You know, like we didn't have what you had, and I enjoy that. Like that's my favorite kind of banter is with white like it's the best for me. Like I love making them feel low, like low, like trash, reminding them that they're trash. Here's the thing: being pro-black or unapologetically black, I don't even know. I don't even understand what that means, or what that means for somebody like me, because I don't know anything different. Like I don't. What is pro-black to you? You know what I mean? Like to me, I feel like pro-blackness is more of a conversation for someone who found their identity later. I've always known who I am. I've always been deeply rooted, immersed in Black history and Black culture, so I didn't have to find my roots, and I recognize that that's a privilege. That where I was educated, how I was educated, that's a privilege that I got that in elementary school. Like I got that in daycare. Like I didn't have to. Black History Month was not a month, you know, like that was who we were. That was our identity. We sang, lift every voice and sing like people saying, my country 'tis of thee, you know. So like I didn't understand later in life that people didn't get that until much later. But I don't think about other people and other races. I don't like racist people, and that's it. And there are a few. Like I have white friends. I have people that I am cool with from, you know, whether we work together or I went to high school, but they're few and far in between, and they know who I am and I know who they are, and they're my white people and I trust them. Do I trust white people as a collective? Absolutely not. But do I hate white people? No, I hate racists. Like, I mean, and that's where I draw the line. I think I've probably been socialized around more white people than the average Black person has. So my feelings and my thoughts have really come from real life experiences, from being immersed, being socialized around them in that way, in a way that I know the conversations that are had when we're not in the room. Like I know what that looks like, and I know what it's like being the only Black person in the room. That was a story for a lot of my life, and but as far as being pro-Black, that's just who I am. Like I don't know any other way. And I think when you understand truly how global anti-Blackness is, and how rooted white supremacy is, and how being adjacent will always prevent people from aligning, I think that what we're seeing now, and even with, I don't think we even have to worry about that, because I think that's what the big push for immigration is right now, is getting all the brown people out of here. So once the brown people are out of here, who are they going to align with? Like, I think that was the fear, is that, you know, we, especially the Mexicans, if they are over here and they're reproducing and they're thriving, then we know that by 2040, we will no longer be the majority. Like, we're not going to exist. So the only way to get them we have to get them out of here, because in theory, what you're saying could happen, but it doesn't happen overnight. Like, it doesn't happen. It's going to take years and years and years for that to happen. And by the time that happens, that would happen ideally, they're gone. So it never happens. You know, race and identity is, I mean, it's complicated, and it's important that you have people that kind of carefully help you navigate those spaces. And I do think I don't know how the discourse went. I really don't remember that conversation, but I do think that it's social norms, societal norms. Like when you're in any business class, they teach you, like when you go to Japan, things that are customary not to do because it'll be disrespect. I think the kind of care should be considered that way, because in the Bible Belt, Mississippi, so like, what do you mean? You know, where you're not in the Bronx, you're not in, like, so you need to be mindful of the norms of where you are. So I think having that awareness and that respect should be important. I think because everybody isn't exposed. Everybody doesn't know what they do in the Bronx. And because anti-blackness is global, a lot of times when you get in the South, particularly, and you do see people who are brown people, they aren't people that have been immersed in communities with black people. They are here and they may own a store, or they may own a restaurant or something. And so they're in your community, but they're not of your community. So they have a hierarchy, like they're not one of you. So allowing that person to say that, where it's rooted in anti-blackness, I can understand why that's an issue. Like you can't just, oh, I'm brown too. No, are you though? Or how do you feel? Like, so I think as a rule, you should just shy away from it. And if not, just respect the social norms of the region where you're from, because the people aren't wrong in their way of thinking on that either. If I had to think of a situation that kind of honestly defined my life, it would be in 2012 when one of my best friends was murdered. And it, it it's not, and it wasn't and I think it's important. It wasn't that she died; it was how she died. She was strangled to death. She was left in a house and thrown in the yard after 2 weeks. Long story short, I got to the crime scene very early, and her body was in advanced state of decomposition. And I think I tell people all the time, I don't really remember a lot about who I was before that day, because it was such a defining moment in my life. Like it was a moment where I feel like joy. So I think for me in that moment, she was 26, and I may have been 29, 2012. I wasn't 30 yet. So I was I was it's when I became an adult. I was a mom, I was a wife, I was all of those things, but all of the like youthfulness and like just being able to play, to me, it's when the world got real to me. Like I think oftentimes you see things on TV, like you see Dateline, you watch Fatal Attraction, you watch all these episodes, and you're removed from it. And then all of a sudden I was in it. Like it was my life. Like I knew somebody, like it was somebody close to me. And that to me, it was when the world became real, and I just didn't laugh the same. I think when you see that kind of like evil or that kind of darkness, like you hear about it, but you never think that you're going to experience it and that it's going to be in your life or that it is going to come to your door. So I think that I was not the same after that. Like I know that I went through, and then he murdered her, and then exactly a year later we went through the trial. And going through the trial is just like going through the all over again. You don't get to like it's that, and you have to be. I'm one of those people. I have to be strong. I have to be together. And honestly, her death is the first time I remember ever like crying. Like I don't remember being a crier in that way, but like it just kind of like broke this layer. And I think then a year after that, we did the Fatal Attraction episode. And then after that, because her family doesn't live here, anytime he goes to court for an appeal, I could called up, like I gotta go, or I gotta go. So you don't get to heal from it. I think I went through a lot of therapy, like a lot. And I think I'm so much better. Like even now, it's the first time I've cried about it in a long time, because I'm so at peace with it. I'm so, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't come, but it's not, it doesn't consume me the way it once did. Like I was angry. Like I was very angry, because I'm a person that I like to fix problems. I like to control things. And it was this one thing that I couldn't control, that I couldn't fix for her, that I felt helpless, and I just couldn't reconcile that feeling because I always felt like if I knew this was going on, it wouldn't have happened. And that's survivor's guilt and learning how to deal with that and to navigate that. But and I had a lot of anger for people that were involved. That as I've gotten older, I'm able to reconcile. I'm able to, I don't even say forgive, but I'm able to like, okay, I get it. Like you didn't know, and I'm at peace with that. So coming finding peace with a lot of things that were killing me, like it really helped. I work diligently to protect my peace. Like sometimes I just shut things off. Sometimes I say no. Like I was a person that I never would say no. I always felt like if I don't do it, what's gonna happen? Like, and I think that part of that is the trauma to having her killed that way. It's like you see when you see things on the news, a mom killed her 3 kids because she's like, that's real to me because I know it can happen. Like I know the craziest things that you think that are so everybody else is just removed from it. I'm not. I know it can happen. And whether if it's somebody in my inbox, it's always like if I ignore this person or I don't do this person, am I going to be able to live with it? And I know I like it would kill me. So but sometimes I do a lot of delegating and I redirect to other resources now. There's a lot of things I still handle on my own. I don't say anything about, but I get people to other resources and I encourage people to find resources for themselves. But like right now, we're just in a time where the resources aren't there. Nonprofits don't have the money. Government agencies, the government doesn't have the money right now. So it's definitely a heavier space for me right now. But my child is brilliant. She is the absolute best version of me. She is she's so smart. But one thing Cameron is that I'm not is Cameron is selfish. And it's something that I admire in her and I envy her because I feel like if I could be selfish and just put me first, I know where I would be. And I know she has that. She's kind, she's compassionate, but she's an only child. So she's just puts herself first. And I love that about her. She's not perfect at all. Like she's got an attitude, but she's a free thinker. She thinks for herself. She can advocate for herself. She's a person that I know that if I were to leave this world today, she would be okay. And I'm proud of that. Like I'm proud that she can stand on her own. And I don't know. I'm excited for what is to come for Cameron. And I think she is who she is. Because I did a good job. Like, like sometimes you beat yourself up as a parent, but and she's just not, I mean, she's my best friend. Like, I love my kid. Like, and I think as having a teenager, like having a little girl, like it's been hell at times. Like, it's not easy. And I think I had a good child, and I still caught hell. But seeing who she is today, and just looking back on all of the things that had to happen that she didn't even remember to get her here, I'm proud of her and I'm happy. I couldn't be even when she's strange. Like I'm just proud of her. Like it's like, okay, you got this, you know, and I love that for her. And I just I think I gave her everything that I had. And she did what she needed to do with it. Like she has done like like I couldn't ask for like sometimes I just watch her. So I'm like, are you serious? Like just hearing how she handles things at school with her professor, I don't have to step in, like, cause she can handle her business, and like that is the biggest flex for me. Like, okay, in the future, I think what I really want to do is I want to write. Like I think I have like there's so many stories to tell. Like sometimes you don't realize like this is real life. And when I sit back and I play like some of my experiences, and there are so many avenues, even from just when I see young girls with behavioral issues being pushed out, when I watch people trying to advocate for their kids with learning disabilities. Like, there's so many stories and so many resources that are just underutilized, that I know that I have the medium and the vehicle to tell those stories. I really just have to get myself together to do it. I definitely want to do more fun community work. Sometimes I feel like I get a hold of people when things are sad, like when things are, and that's depressing. It's a lot. So I want to get back to things I used to do, like I took like the kids to the movies and the bicycle drives and things that bring joy. But I do realize that every move and every step I do, everything is important. Like right now, I'm in this space where I'm dealing with this stuff, or I'm dealing with helping people navigate this stuff, and it's depressing. But I know that I think that as a people, we're going to be all right after this. I think that because we've had to survive on nothing, and we've always been at the bottom. I don't think that this season is going to shake us, and I think that there's going to be like a time after this where everything is going to be okay. Like, I truly believe that. So like right now, just helping people navigate. I think that I was reading on Threads the other day where a girl was commenting about how the Great Depression and the Harlem Renaissance kind of coincide. They overlap in time period, and that's because we were able to thrive and we were able to flourish because we never had anything. Like, we don't have like these depression era meals that we eat because we've been eating, like, we know how to, like, so even though, like, with the government shutdown right now, people aren't against that. We know how to make chicken and rice. We know how to make pork and beans. We know how to be all right in this. So just waiting to be on the other side of it. I don't know what that looks like politically at all. I don't have a lot of beliefs or hopes for that. But as far as community is concerned, I do have faith in the community, that the people will rise and that the community will rise. And that's my thoughts on that. Like, if I had to have a conversation or just say anything, it would be to, like, always continuously grow and not be afraid. Like, because I think a lot of times I have conversations with myself. Like, I think to myself about, or I'll see posts or things that I've said that I agreed with at the time, because that was my wheelhouse. That was the life that I've known. But as I'm 42 years old, so a lot of the things that I thought at 22, I don't think. But I still, because I feel like for the most part, I'm rooted in righteousness. So like I believed fundamentally what I thought at the time. Because I think a lot of times, like, I got something that I was writing about, even the C. Dolores Tucker and Tupac, like, she was right. Like, when I was a child, I couldn't see that. Like, yeah, she's wrong. And now I can see, as an adult, as a mom, as a parent, as somebody that's watching our community, I can see what she was trying to prevent. As somebody that does historical research, like, I can realize what she saw so that she knew what was coming. So like, just never be afraid to, change your way of thinking, change your mindset, challenge your own way of thinking, especially, and continuously educate yourself and to teach yourself. Like, I think that we go to school and we're indoctrinated, like, we're taught these things, and that's what we believe. That you're not taught how to critically think. When you go to college and when you go into the world, like, that's when you're really at liberty to question things. Like, I don't remember being able to question things in high school. Like, you're given a book and this is what Scholastic says and that's it. Challenge yourself just to see the world through different lenses and read books. Like, I tell people to read all day because it's so important. Like, it's not about who went to Harvard, who went to Yale. It's about who reads. Like, all of that stuff is accessible to everybody. And I think that, because sometimes I get, you think you know everything. I do. It's like, I do. And it's not by choice. It's because I read. And when you read a lot, you're dangerous. Like, because I know enough about so many different subjects, not because I went to school for them, but because I read them. I do the same work, like, you may not have applied it in that way, but if you open your minds, you're going to be dangerous. And I just wish more of us would do that. And I don't think it's too late. I think it's just one big thing for me is encouraging your children to read, because that's why my child is dangerous, because she reads. Like, it's nothing else. Like, it's because she reads.